Hi there, welcome to the OCR podcast. I'm Anthony Day, the host of the podcast. In this episode, I'm joined by Francesca, a sixth form student from Cambridge. We'll be chatting about Francesca's own experience of revision and preparing for her exams, which we hope will be useful for students as they get ready to sit their exams. Hey Francesca, how's it going?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, great, thank you. Thanks so
Good.
much for joining me.
You're welcome.
Would you like to just introduce yourself to our listeners, what you're studying and why you chose to study your courses?
Yeah, absolutely. So hi everyone, like Anthony said, my name's Francesca and I'm currently studying business, criminology and musical theatre at Long Road Sixth Form in Cambridge. Obviously at secondary you don't get the variety of subject choices like college, and that's why when enrolling at Long Road I wanted to try subjects that I was already interested in, e.g. musical theatre, but also choose ones that would open my eyes to more opportunities and industries.
Thanks very much. It's great to have you here. So before we get started, just a reminder for our listeners, whether you're a student, a parent, a teacher or exams officer, you can find information and resources to support you during this exam series on our dedicated website, ocr.org.uk/support. We're also providing exam prep and mental health tips for students on our Instagram channel at OCR Examinations. So let's get started. So Francesca, this is the first time you'll have sat any major exams, is that right?
Yeah, so obviously I was due to sit my GCSEs last year, but of course due to COVID I couldn't sit them in their normal form.
And how are you feeling? Do you feel ready for exams?
For me, the whole exam experience isn't too daunting. I would always try to not get too stressed and instead just focus on myself. So obviously for the upcoming ones, my year is at a disadvantage, but I still feel like I can approach these exams with a positive mindset.
Fantastic, that's the key, positive mindset.
Yeah.
So I'd like to talk about revision. Tell me what a typical revision day or evening, if you're revising after you come home from the day at college, what does that look like for you and how do you best plan your time?
So I'll be honest, I'm not the best at revision, but it's something that I know I need to improve on. But the revision that I have been doing, it definitely works for me. So a typical revision session for me consists of splurging all my knowledge about a certain subject onto a mind map within 25 minutes. And once that time is up, I'll look at the areas that I know less about. And this way I know specifically what to focus on and read up on.
Fantastic, thank you. I like the idea of just throwing it all out there
Hmm.
onto a mind map, and it's really great to be able to visualize information
Yeah,
all in one place, isn't it? That's really
yeah.
good. It's definitely my revision style as well back in the day. Um, so when it comes to revising, so what, if any, have been the biggest challenges for you during your revision sessions, and how have you overcome these?
The biggest challenge for me when it comes to revising is finding time because I dance 3 days a week. So I really struggle to not just have spare time, but also have the energy to revise. I've learned, especially whilst at college, that you don't necessarily need 5 spare hours in a day to revise and get work done. So, like I said earlier, I revise in 25-minute chunks with a 10-minute break between each of these. And I've quickly found that even within this short amount of time, I've got more revision done. Another challenge I definitely found though was when it comes to revising, I really procrastinate. I would always say, oh, it's fine, I'll do it tomorrow. But by the time the next day comes round and it's time to work, I kept saying, oh, why didn't I do it yesterday? And that endless cycle became really toxic and leads to so much more stress. And that build up is just something you don't want when you've already got an exam to think about.
Absolutely, and I guess it's trying to break that cycle, isn't it? Recognizing that once you put your mind to it and you focus, you can do it and you're
Yeah,
going to feel better about it.
exactly.
And it's just getting out of that cycle. It's
Hmm.
not easy, but and I can imagine that your dance and the exercise you get, I bet that's fantastic to boost your mood and your mental health as well.
Yeah, that is really good. Obviously, I do rely a lot on dance, but also my friends to kind of get a break away from revising. I also have my teachers, they're super supportive if ever I need help with something. But I've also got my mum. She also, as she's my biggest supporter, she always knows how to calm me down and she just takes the stress away. So I'm super grateful that I've got stuff in my life that helps with exams.
Yeah, fantastic. It's really good to know that you do have that kind of inspiration and that support network out there. And
Yeah.
I think that's a big takeaway for any student who might be struggling, who might need a bit of support advice.
Hmm.
There's, all of your peers, all of your students are going through the exactly same thing.
Exactly.
And also your teachers, they've been in that same seat as well.
Yeah,
and they've been through those experiences, and they're human beings as well, right?
exactly.
So we're all here to support each other and get to the same goal. So that's fantastic. Thank you very much.
It's okay.
What top tips would you share with other students who may be struggling with their mental health, or maybe feeling stressed about the exams that they've got coming up, or an exam that they might have just done? What would your tips be?
So, for anyone out there struggling, like we've said, I think the biggest piece of advice from me would be that you've got to remember everyone is in the same boat. No one particularly likes exams, but we've got to do them. And at the end of the day, a grade does not define you. You've got to always remember to take breaks throughout your revision sessions. And if you need it, you're allowed a day off. Regarding stuff in the future, I think just worry about what's happening now because no one knows what happens in the future. So just take every day as it comes.
Absolutely. That's a great tip. Thank you very much.
It's okay.
So it's the morning, it's the evening or the morning before your exams. So what will you be doing to kind of prepare yourself with all the physical things you'll be taking with you? But what would that look like? But also, what would it look like preparing mentally?
So, in preparation for my exam, I gradually make sure that all notes that I've made or any mind maps that I've created, I've got to have them right in the right folder. Because for me, being organized just puts me at ease and it's one less thing to stress about. I'll also make sure that I get a good night's sleep because 8 or 9 hours is so important to make sure you wake up and feel refreshed. And I'll also just make sure that I kind of take time for myself. Like I won't really go on social media, or maybe read a book or go outside or just be with my pets. So you're in a calm sense of mind and then you're at ease then. You don't have to stress about the exam.
Fantastic. Yeah. Relax, switch
Exactly.
off,
Yeah.
recharge, and just, yeah, reset and retain that focus on what you need to do. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, so that's talking about exams, but obviously this isn't the end of the road for anyone. So there's a whole future out there. There's next steps. There's a bright life ahead of all students, hopefully. So what about your future plans? Are you considering any options or next steps at all?
So I think for anyone, this question's really hard to answer because we're still so young. Like, who knows what they want to do at 17, 18 years old. But of course, I have been thinking about the subjects I do and enjoy and what I want to get most out of my life. So I have a few options. Obviously, being a dancer, going to a prestigious dance college would be an absolute dream. But I'm also really enjoying criminology. So potentially a forensics course at uni could be an option, but I'm also leaning towards business. So I'm considering an apprenticeship in HR or business management and marketing at uni. So with these three different options, I've got a lot of researching and thinking about what I want to do in the future.
Sounds like some fantastic options, actually, all
Yeah.
really interesting in their own right, actually.
Hmm.
So, well, Francesca, I'm sure that whichever path you choose, you're going to make a great success out of it. So
Thank you.
really, really best of luck to you. So
Thank you.
thank you. And thanks for joining me, Francesca. So best of luck to you and everyone sitting their exams. And to all our student listeners, if you're looking for any last minute revision tips or want a reminder about what to expect on exam day, take a look at our support web pages, exam FAQs, and our brand new student guide on preparing for exams. All can be found at ocr.org.uk/support. There you'll just find the tab for students. You'll also find useful exam prep content on our Instagram at OCR Examinations.